Zarek Vaughn stood by the observation window of orbital station Echelon 9. The stars outside shimmered like cold, distant watchers. Below the station, the Andromeda expanse stretched into black silence. Ships came and went. Most people aboard the station lived like the galaxy was at peace. But Zarek knew better. He sipped stale coffee from a metal cup and stared at the data scrolling across his wristband. His job in galactic intelligence was usually routine, monitoring traffic logs, cargo manifests, and encrypted transmissions. Most days were quiet. But tonight, a red alert blinked on his private feed. Incoming classified message. Level 7 encryption. Source: Galactic Council. Destination unlisted. Zarek frowned. Level 7 encryption was reserved for planetary threats, wars, plagues, or worse. But this message was hidden. It wasn't even logged in the main system. That was a red flag. He tapped the message open. Class 7 Annihilation Protocol. Target: Earth. Operation Zenith. Final countdown: 72 hours. Zarek's chest tightened. He read the message twice. Then a third time. It didn't change. Earth. His home. Marked for destruction. The message wasn't a drill or simulation. It was real. He looked around the quiet data center. Only a cleaning droid buzzed softly in the corner. No cameras in here. No one else on duty. He copied the message to a secure drive, encrypted it again, and shut off his screen. His hands were shaking. Zarek walked quickly to his quarters, his boots silent on the metal floor. He passed officers who nodded politely, unaware of what he had just seen. He nodded back, trying to hide the panic building inside him. In his room, he locked the door and activated a jamming field to block all surveillance. Then he slid the drive into a hidden reader. The message opened again. Target: Earth. Quantum destabilizer en route. Termination to begin in 72 hours. Authorized by High Chancellor Threx Malor. Zarek clenched his fists. Threx, the head of the Galactic Council. A man who always smiled on broadcasts, speaking of peace and order. But this message was clear. The Council had turned against humanity. Why? Zarek knew Earth hadn't started any recent conflicts. It wasn't perfect, but it was peaceful, rebuilding after years of war. He remembered his sister back home, his old training officer, his favorite diner in New Boston. They'd all be gone, unless he did something. He had two choices: report it through the official channels and hope someone cared, or act on his own. He remembered his father's words from long ago. When the system is broken, do what's right, not what's allowed. Zarek stood up. He knew what he had to do. Suddenly his console blinked. Remote wipe detected. Someone was trying to erase the message. He scrambled to shut down the feed. He barely made it in time. The screen went dark. The data safe, for now. Someone knew he had seen it. Zarek took a deep breath. This wasn't just a mistake or misunderstanding. It was a betrayal. And if the Council wanted Earth gone, he couldn't trust anyone up here. He picked up his coat and strapped his blaster to his hip. He needed allies. Fast. Zarek moved through the dim corridors of Echelon 9 with purpose. The station never truly slept, but at this hour, foot traffic was light, perfect for staying unseen. His mind raced with thoughts of Earth and the message he had uncovered. He needed help, but not from anyone tied to the Galactic Council. He sent a secure ping from his wristband. Just one word: urgent. The message went to Lyra Quinn, an old contact from his flight days. She wasn't military anymore. Now she worked in the underlayers of the station, running quiet ops and bending rules with ease. If anyone could help him decrypt more data or stay hidden, it was her. 20 minutes later, Zarek slipped into a side tunnel near the waste processing sector. A metal door slid open, revealing a cramped tech den filled with wires, flickering monitors, and the hum of illegal devices. Lyra stood by a console, arms crossed. She looked the same as always: sharp eyes, short hair, no nonsense. "You never call unless someone's about to die," she said. "They are," Zarek replied. Billions. She raised an eyebrow but said nothing as he handed her the encrypted drive. She plugged it in. The message loaded. Her face went pale. "This is real?" she asked. "I saw it myself. Earth's the target. They're sending a quantum destabilizer. 71 hours now." Lyra leaned back, exhaling slowly. "This isn't just war. This is a clean wipe. The kind of weapon they used on rogue planets decades ago." Zarek nodded. "And the Council's hiding it. No one on Earth knows." She began typing quickly, scanning the data trail. "Looks like they used a fake diplomatic signal to mask the weapon's path. It's already en route, stored in a freighter labeled as Peace Envoy's cargo." Zarek felt a wave of anger. "They're hiding genocide behind peace." "There's more," she said, pointing to the screen. "This operation, Zenith has been in planning for months. Your discovery tripped something. They're watching now." As if on cue, an alert flashed on her screen. "Active surveillance triggered." Zarek Vaughn. "Flagged traitor protocol initiated." Zarek's jaw tightened. That was fast. Lyra turned to him. "You need to go dark. Now." "No," he said. "Not yet. There's someone else we need." They made their way to the diplomatic sector, where retired ambassadors often stayed under protection. One in particular, Relek Sorin, a former diplomat from the Dorian species, had once served on the Galactic Council. He had stepped down years ago, disillusioned by its growing secrecy. They found Relek in a private room lined with star maps and old books. The tall, silver-skinned alien greeted them with a tired smile. "Zarek, I thought I'd seen the last of you." "And Lyra still breaking rules?" "Always," she said. "We need your help." Zarek explained the message, the weapon and the Council's betrayal. Relek listened silently, his 4 eyes focused on Zarek the entire time. When they finished, he spoke in a low voice. "I warned them," he said. "Humans are not a threat. They are simply unpredictable. That makes you dangerous in their eyes. So they wipe us out?" Zarek asked. "Like we're nothing." Relek stood. "It is not the first time. The Council once silenced 3 entire worlds, always under the excuse of order. But never this bold." Zarek stepped forward. "Can you get us access to their internal archives? We need proof, enough to show the galaxy." Relek hesitated. Then he nodded. "I will try. But if they catch us, they won't just come for Earth. They'll come for anyone who helps you." A loud bang echoed through the hallway outside. "They're here," Lyra whispered. Relek opened a hidden panel behind his bookcase. "There's a tunnel. Go now." As they escaped through the narrow passage, Zarek looked back. "Thank you," he said. Relek just gave a sad nod. "For Earth." They ran into the shadows, the station alarms now echoing behind them. The hunt had begun. Zarek, Lyra and Relek moved quickly through the utility tunnels beneath Echelon 9. The air smelled of metal and oil. Pipes lined the narrow walls, and every step echoed softly under their boots. They had no time to rest. Security forces were now searching for Zarek. The Council had branded him a traitor. Cameras were likely scanning faces. Patrols would be doubling. Staying hidden wouldn't be easy. Relek led the way. "There's a maintenance shaft that connects to the central archive," he said. "It's risky, but if you want proof, that's where you'll find it." Zarek followed close behind. His mind kept drifting back to the message, the order to wipe out Earth. Every second they delayed, the weapon drew closer. The galaxy still believed in the Council. They needed solid evidence, not rumors. After nearly an hour of crawling, climbing, and bypassing locked gates, they reached a steel hatch marked Council Sector Access, authorized personnel only. Lyra knelt beside the console. "Standard encryption," she whispered. "Give me a minute." Her fingers flew across the keypad. Sparks flashed. The lock clicked open. Inside was a narrow corridor with polished black walls. The lights were dim. No guards yet. They moved carefully toward a room labeled Strategic Operations Data Vault. "This is it," Relek said. Zarek stepped inside first. The room was circular, lined with storage cores and glowing terminals. The center console held the master access. Lyra plugged in her tools. "I'm in. Pulling files now," Lines of data scrolled across the screen. Reports, logs, orders. Zarek scanned them quickly, searching for keywords. And then he saw it. Operation Zenith, final authorization, High Chancellor Threx Malor. He opened the file. Human activity exceeds acceptable unpredictability thresholds. Risk to Council control, high. Action, deploy destabilizer to eliminate Earth and surrounding colonies. Public statement, unstable core collapse. Blame natural causes. Timeline, immediate. Operation classified. Zarek clenched his fists. They had planned to lie to the galaxy, make it look like an accident. There's more, Lyra said. These aren't just Earth orders. There's a pattern: multiple civilizations marked unfit for integration, all wiped, silently. Relic stared at the screen, his voice grim. This is genocide, and they've done it before. Zarek knew what had to be done. We take this, broadcast it, show the truth. Suddenly, the lights flashed red. Intruder alert. Archive breach. Security en route. They found us, Lyra said. I'm pulling the full logs now. Relic grabbed a stun weapon from a locker. We hold them off. You finish downloading. Seconds later, the sound of boots echoed down the corridor. The door shook. Voices shouted. Weapons charged. Lyra's screen flashed green. Got it. Let's go. Zarek grabbed the drive. Relic fired 2 stun blasts into the hallway, forcing the guards to retreat. Follow me, Relic shouted. They rushed into a side hallway. Relic sealed the door behind them. We'll split up, he said. I'll mislead them. You two get to the old relay tower. Zarek hesitated. You won't make it. Relic gave a tired smile. I've lived long enough to see what the council became. Go, expose them. Then he turned and vanished into the shadows. Zarek and Lyra ran, hearts pounding. Behind them, the hallway shook from explosions. Relic was buying them time, with his life. Zarek gripped the drive tighter. They had the truth now, but getting it out would be even harder. The old relay tower sat deep within the station's forgotten sector, abandoned, dark, and silent. Dust floated in the air. Power lines sparked weakly. This part of Echelon 9 hadn't been used in years. Zarek and Lyra slipped inside, breathless and tense. The door creaked shut behind them. This place used to link emergency signals across sectors, Lyra said, wiping sweat from her brow. If we can reactivate the core, we can broadcast to the galaxy, uncensored. Zarek nodded. He placed the drive on the console. How long will it take? 10 minutes. Maybe less if it doesn't crash, she said. Kneeling at the console. Cover me. Zarek stood by the doorway, blaster ready. Every second counted. If they were found now, the council would wipe them out before a single word reached the stars. The old system buzzed to life. Static hummed in the room. Lyra connected wires, bypassed firewalls, and forced open the main transmission node. Then the screen lit up. Emergency transmission ready destination. All systems, public frequencies. No filters. Lyra handed Zarek a headset. You're the soldier, she said. You speak. They'll listen. Zarek hesitated. He wasn't a public speaker. He was trained to fly, to fight, not to plead with an entire galaxy. But he thought of Earth. His sister, his home. He hit the button. The screen blinked red, then green. This is Zarek Vaughn, former intelligence officer of Echelon 9, he began. His voice steady. 3 days ago, I discovered a secret message. The Galactic Council has ordered the destruction of Earth. They've labeled humanity a threat, and they plan to erase us with a quantum destabilizer. He paused, letting it sink in. This isn't just about Earth. We found files, dozens of operations, entire worlds, wiped out, silenced, disappeared. All in the name of order. The Council has been lying to us. Outside the tower, alarms began to blare. Red lights flashed in the distance. Zarek saw armored guards entering the sector. He continued. We have the proof. These files are now public. Anyone can access them. Look for yourself. Judge for yourself. But don't stay silent. He stared into the camera. This is humanity's warning. The council betrayed us. They will betray you too. Spread the word. Act now. We don't have much time. Lyra hit the send command. The data shot through the network, pinging ships, colonies, spaceports, even hidden channels in deep space. It was out. The truth was free, but so were the enemies. The tower shook as council forces breached the outer walls. They're coming, Lyra shouted. Zurich grabbed her arm and pulled her through the back corridor. They sprinted through rusted doors and winding tunnels. Blaster fire echoed behind them. Dust fell from the ceiling. They reached a cargo lift and jumped in. Zurich slammed the button. As the lift dropped, Lyra pulled out a small screen. She stared in disbelief. It's working, she whispered. Thousands of pings. People are watching, sharing, protesting. Some of the council worlds are demanding answers. Zurich leaned back against the wall, breathing hard. We hit them where it hurts, he said. But then Lyra's face darkened. There's a new message, she said, from Threx Mahler. He's declared you an enemy of the galaxy. There's a bounty now. Zurich looked at her. How much? 10 million credits, dead or alive. Zurich gave a dry, tired smile. Guess we got his attention. The lift stopped. They stepped out into the shadows of the lower docks. The battle was far from over, but for the first time they weren't alone. The Tyros Rift loomed ahead, a dark, swirling storm of space debris and unstable energy. It was the perfect place to hide something dangerous, and that's exactly where the Council had sent the weapon. Zarek and Lyra stood on the bridge of a stolen scout ship, silent as the stars passed by. The stolen data had revealed the exact coordinates. The weapon wasn't just in transit. It was already aboard a disguised council ship, the Vigilant Dawn. Cloaking signal active, Lyra said, gripping the controls. We'll pass as a merchant ship for now, but once we get close, they'll know, Zarek finished. He stared at the distant ship on the screen. It floated just inside the rift's edge, shielded by a thick cloud of radiation and static. The Vigilant Dawn was huge, part cargo freighter, part warship. And inside, somewhere in the lower bays, was the quantum destabilizer, the weapon that could erase Earth in minutes. Zarek checked his gear. Blaster charged. EMP grenades ready. Explosives set for sabotage. There was no backup this time. Just him and Lyra. And a small window to act. Ready? He asked. Lyra gave a tight nod. Let's crash a council party. Their ship landed hard on the outer docking ring of the Vigilant Dawn. The moment they stepped out, alarms screamed. So much for stealth. Council guards rushed toward them, heavy armor, glowing rifles. Zarek moved fast, ducking behind crates and returning fire. Lyra sprinted to the control panel and started slicing the ship's systems. We need 10 minutes, she shouted. Zarek nodded and moved ahead, blasting his way down the corridor. He knew what he was looking for, the weapon's power core. It had to be in the lower levels, locked down, surrounded by security. He fought through wave after wave of guards, getting closer to the core. Sparks flew from the walls. Sirens wailed. The whole ship shook as it tried to push deeper into the rift to hide. Lyra's voice crackled over the comm. I found the core room, she said. Sending you the coordinates. Zarek reached the door a minute later, breath heavy, armor scorched. He placed the charges on the lock and blew it open. Inside was a glowing sphere, bright, humming, alive with unstable energy. The quantum destabilizer. Its pulse made the air feel thin and cold. Zarek stepped toward the control panel. His heart pounded. Overload in progress, the screen read. Warning, manual override required. He placed the last of his explosives on the core, but before he could arm it, a voice echoed from the chamber walls. Zarek Vaughn, I expected better from you. A tall, flickering hollow image appeared above the core. High Chancellor Threx Mahler, calm, cold, dressed in white and gold robes. His voice was like glass, smooth, sharp. You had promise, Threx said. You could have joined us, helped shape the galaxy. I'm not interested in helping tyrants, Zarek said, fingers tight on the detonator. Earth is a virus, Threx said. Too emotional, too unpredictable. Order must come first. Order doesn't mean killing billions, Zarek growled. You've already lost. The truth is out. Threx's smile faded. Then you'll die with your truth. Suddenly turrets dropped from the ceiling. Zarek rolled, dodging blasts. He fired back, hitting the base of one, then another. He dove toward the panel and slammed his hand onto the manual override. The core began to pulse faster. Bright light surged through the room. Lyra's voice came through the comm. What's happening? It's going critical, Zarek said. I'll trigger it remotely. Get off the ship. No, she said. Not without you. Go, he shouted. The door sealed behind him. The chamber locked down. Zarek stared at the core. Then he looked at the detonator in his hand. The countdown began, 60 seconds. He took a deep breath and hit the button. From the scout ship, Lyra watched as the vigilant dawn cracked in two. A white blast tore through the rift, scattering debris across space. The shock wave shook her ship, knocking out power for several seconds. Then silence. She waited. Minutes passed. No signal, no sign of Zarek. Her chest tightened, but just as she turned to leave, a blinking light appeared on her radar, an escape pod drifting from the wreckage. She opened the bay doors and pulled it in. Inside, burned and bruised, but alive, was Zarek. He looked up at her and smiled faintly. Told you I'd make it. She knelt beside him. You're insane. Maybe, he said. But Earth is safe. They both sat in silence, as the stars outside glowed a little brighter. 2 days after the destruction of the Vigilant Dawn, the galaxy was no longer silent. From one system to the next, Zarek's broadcast spread. People watched the footage. They read the Council's secret files. Worlds that once trusted the Galactic Council now demanded answers. Protests broke out across core planets. Allied species turned against their former leaders. Ships changed flags. Outposts locked down. The Council tried to deny everything, but it was too late. The truth was everywhere. Zarek sat in the medical bay of a rebel ship orbiting a neutral moon. His body was sore. His shoulder burned from the blast. But he was alive. And Earth was safe, for now. Lyra walked in, holding a datapad. She smiled slightly. You're trending across 5 systems, she said. Some are calling you a hero. Others, a symbol of rebellion. Zarek raised an eyebrow. I prefer tired pilot who didn't want to watch his planet burn. She handed him the datapad. Messages flooded the screen. Thank yous, alliance offers, demands for change. One caught his eye. Transmission received. Earth preparing defense. We're awake now. We stand with you. It was signed by Earth's High Command. He leaned back against the wall. Relief washed over him. For the first time in days he allowed himself to breathe. But peace didn't last long. A rebel officer entered the room. Zarek, we've just picked up Council movement. They're regrouping. Threx Malor disappeared after the Vigilant Dawn was destroyed. No trace. Zarek nodded. He'll resurface. Men like him don't go down with their ships. Lyra looked at Zarek. What do we do now? He stood slowly, wincing from the pain. We keep going. The Council's mask is off. People are awake now. They need leadership, not from above, but beside them. She tilted her head. You're not thinking of quitting, are you? Zarek gave a tired smile. I didn't fight this far just to stop. We build something better. One system at a time. Outside the window, distant stars twinkled. Ships moved through the void. Some still running, some rising in defiance. Zarek walked to the comm station and began recording one final message. His voice was calm, steady. To all free people of the galaxy, this is Zarek Vaughn. The Council's lies have been exposed, but the fight is not over. Stay alert, stand together. A new day has begun. Truth is louder than fear, and we are not alone. He ended the message. Beside him, Lyra nodded. That'll wake a few more. Zarek looked out at the stars. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but he knew one thing for sure. The people had a voice now, and it would not be silenced again.